part 3. This video, my talking went on a little farther than I thought it would. It started from seeing games from the classic perspective to the newer perspective, or by newer perspective, I mean the now present day perspective, where the games have brought us all together in a way. Whether we make a momentary connection with somebody, or whether we shoot for the stars and play with other people. Um, if you know people who do gameplay videos, if you've seen Vanos Gaming, all of his friends could be close together or really far from each other, but they still get along. They still act as if they're right there in the same room with somebody by immersing themselves in the game. Now, that's what I had growing up. Immersion in a game to the point where I did not know the outside world around me. A person could get hurt, and I wouldn't know about it even if I watched the news, and I wouldn't know that that person was nearby. And I guess, in a way, games were like a babysitter. Except, you still have to keep the child near you, and... sorry, I'm moving a lot of stuff around. Oh, by the way, this is part 3. I think I'm going to start calling these videos random rants. But I think someone else has that. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. Over the years, I started growing away from Pokemon because I guess Pokemon started to fade away. Not from the world, but from me. From, I guess in a way, my world. Basically, if you like anime, you know that the story centers around the protagonist. What's happening in the outside world, outside their town, outside their city, is nothing until it eventually will affect them. Which means, in our way, we are our own protagonist. This is our story. This is how we see it. Whether we live our lives silently or action filled or dramatically. This is our story. We live it. Just like any game character who had years of development put into him. Her, it, whatever the character is. Someone spent time. Someone spent the pages of their story to make a new story. And what I mean by pages, I mean time. Every time you read a book or you read a text, that's time that someone put into that game. Sure, we don't like the text, especially if we've seen it multiple times. And sorry about that shadow behind me. But the world is filled with new things. Some with old, some with that are fading away. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the memory of game consoles before game consoles were board games, which was basically you made it your own fun. Whether you had the atmosphere full of energy, waiting to have the next turn, planning your next move, making the best of what was in front of you. Basically, everything has its good and bad. It's okay, let me throw this out there, but its own yin and yang. I'd like to thought of yin and yang. It's where everything has its good, have everything has its evil. There's no such thing as absolute good. There's no such thing as absolute evil. Well, there's no sure thing that's good. It's only whether it's become so bad it can't go back. Sorry. Um, what I mean is you can't erase the past, but you can sure as hell make a new future. Uh, you can look to Terminator for that kind of stuff. Sorry, but let's get back to video games. I keep branching off from that subject, but nowadays you can play with people without worrying about losing a connection or if the connection will stick. Sometimes connections will last just minutes, seconds even, but sometimes a connection can last years, maybe months, hopefully. Hopefully, it's a positive connection someone's looking for. I feel like I'm running out of things to say, but let's say even you guys watching this makes me feel like I do see some. There is more out there in the world than what I know. There's always going to be more. No one can know everything. You can just know a lot more than the other person. I guess that's another thing video games have. Someone shared perspective of what they like passed down to someone else. Um, I don't want to sound like I'm talking a lot about Pokemon, but from what I remember, I think someone asked the creator of Pokemon what was their inspiration. Now, this might sound weird, but he said his connection with his um, his inspiration for it was bug catching. Basically, catching rare bugs and and venturing out into the world while seeing new possibilities. Whether like in Pokemon, you see a new species every year, every few years. Uh, see all those new regions with new Pokemon. That's basically like a new bug that or new plant species that someone is out there discovering. There's always a new thing to be seen, whether it's whether it's there originally or whether it's been brought to light or whether it's been created and then brought to light. I feel like I'm jumbling myself up. Uh, the build video, what I wanted for this channel was to be, I wanted to be like a part of myself that I could share with the world. In a way, it's not, it's not the brightest light in the group of candles, but it's a not, it's a light in the dark nonetheless. It's another voice to be heard. It's another face to be seen. It's another idea to be put to the test. It's another game to look out and venture forth. It's a new anime to watch. It's a new manga to read. It's a new TV drama to watch. It's another person's life you get to see unfold. Whether it's positive, negative, or just plain dramatic. I'm just there's a lot more to the world than what I know. And YouTube was YouTube is my way of seeing the world in a different light. Or the internet is anyway. YouTube's going to hell sometimes. But people who look at it in a different light would say, no, something's just changing in YouTube and we just don't know what it is. So if you see your favorite reaction channel get taken down, sorry to hear about it. Sorry to see it, but couple channels that I liked. Lost Pause. Noble lost his channel, but he got it back, and people saw him as another light in their dark, another light that went out, but with some help and some time, it came back. I feel like I have a couple of science references in my head, like, just because a sun dies out doesn't mean there won't be another one born. But that sounds kind of depressing, actually. The reason why it sounds depressing is because when a sun dies out, it either makes its final spark or it implodes and takes in everything around it. That reminds me of what my science teacher once told me, that the world will someday not be here. We won't be here. There's Back then, it kind of made me sad, very sad, to see that everything I once knew, even me, will never exist ever again. There won't be another person like me. There won't be another person that I would want to be. Or any way to look at it, but things will fade. Things will fade away just for new things to take its place. Whether those new things come in the same size, shape, or form as the things before it, whether it's better or worse, there's never nothing left. I'm sorry to say this, but I really veered off the path from video games. But it also accounts to video games. Didn't want to feel like I'm just some geeky guy just making another rant video. But we come to love the things around us. Whether they stay or whether they go, is up to us. Up to the people who created those things. Whether we're willing to support it enough for it to come back. Like Smash Brothers, Brawl was supposed to be the last game, but people wanted more. People wanted more, and in a way, we kind of pushed the creator of Smash Brothers to make a new Smash Brothers, the Smash Brothers for 3DS and Wii U. I doubt that might be the last one, but if it is the last one, it got a pretty good damn run. It lasted years. It lasted almost generations. By generations, I mean around 20 years. Smash Brothers originally came out, I think, around for 64, but that's it for this video. I'm sorry, I may have gotten a little depressing with this one. Definitely gonna change that. Alright, bye.